Hi, Chris here with the Cube i7 Remix. It's a new edition of the i7 series from Cube. Now this one has the Remix operating system on it. Now if you've seen some of my other videos, I did test out the Remix tablet by Remix, and that had the newer kind of operating system that runs on Android and has kind of a Windows look to it, so you can multitask a little bit easier. There is a taskbar at the bottom. And now Cube have brought out a version with this operating system on there with a similar design to the original i7, which I tested out as well, which had a Core M. This, on the other hand, has the Intel 3735F. So that clocks up to 1.8 gigahertz. It has a 1080p screen in it and a keyboard dock as well that you can get, which I think is the exact same keyboard that comes with the Cube i7. And we'll have a look at that. So let's have a look and see what is in the box here. Now I got this tablet here from Ali off AliExpress. That's ELE. It's around 200 US for the tablet, and the keyboard is an additional 50 to 60 US. Alright, so here is the tablet. And it does look very similar to the i7 Core M model. We can see it's even got a Windows Home button here, which is interesting considering it doesn't have the Windows operating system on there. So at the bottom we have the keyboard docking port there. That's the 5-pin Pogo port. Very common on these tablets that do come with keyboards. And on the right side here we have two speakers, funnily enough. They are both on the right side. And the screen itself looks to be, let's have a look, it is not laminated. Now the i7 had a laminated screen, this one isn't. Alright, so on the top, what else do we have here? We have nothing else on the top. This is a 2 megapixel front facing camera. On the rear we have a 5 megapixel camera. Volume up and down rocker, power on. And on the left side is where all the action is. So we have the headphone jack, micro HDMI port, 2 USB ports. One must be for data. There we go. Okay, so OTG. This is the one for data and then one for charging. That's quite handy to have actually, because you can charge and then use the data port at the same time. And a micro SD card port there. Now the build of it overall feels quite good. It's very solid. Can't feel any creaks between the front screen and the rear housing. Where they meet up seems to be very solid. Well put together. Now we'll check out the weight of the tablet. I'll just have a look now at the thickness of it to see how thick it is. Seems rather thin. Doesn't seem too bad. Let's have a look. So if I just bring this in here. So we are looking at here around about 8 millimeters thin, so that's not too bad at all. Now let's see what else is in the box. Should be a keyboard in here because I did order one there, so let's have a look. And the protective packaging here. And there we go, keyboard. Okay, I can see now this is exactly the same keyboard that I had with the i7. And why not? I mean, this is an 11.6 inch tablet, so you get a good sized keyboard on here. And this keyboard I have used with the i7 is very good to type on. Quality of it, the feedback of it is very decent. The only complaint I had, which was the trackpad is quite small and there are no physical left and right clicks there. But with the Remix OS, you don't need the right mouse button. So it will be all gestures. You can disable that trackpad as well. And if it's like the i7 one, yes, there we go. 2 USB 2 ports on the back. So it's very good. So I do recommend getting the keyboard if you are going to get this tablet. It's a productive tablet if you get this keyboard with it. And with the operating system, multitasking and everything. Now the back of it is that nice metal finish with that matte paint job, the same as the actual tablet. Okay, let's see what they have in terms of the power adapter. So rectangular box here. which should have all the accessories in here for me. Okay, so we have the OTG adapter, micro USB to normal sized USB. You don't really need that if you're going to have the keyboard, because you can use the ones on the keyboard there. Micro USB cable for charging, and the charger here is in white, not matching the tablet at all. So 5 volts and 2 amps, that is pretty standard. So you could use your mobile phone to charge the tablet, because most mobile phones have similar kind of output, around 2 amps, sorry, and 5 volts. So you could probably use that. Now what else do we have here? Just a couple of cards here that are in Chinese. Cube VIP club thing. Quality check pass. It's always good to see that, so someone has checked it. One more thing is in the box here. So, instruction manual in English, wow. Normally everything is in Chinese. So that's good. There's some basic settings there for the Remix OS. If people aren't familiar with it, then you've got some instructions there. Okay, so the front of it is in Chinese. Okay, so now let's have a look at the weight of the keyboard and the tablet together. So using my trusty little scales here, just check out the weight of the tablet. So it comes in at a rather hefty 735 grams there. That's not too bad, but it is, you know, solidly built, and that reflects in the weight there. And the keyboard weighs, let's have a look. Okay, so 672 there. Similar kind of weight to the tablet, so both of them combined are going to be about 1.4, aren't they? Almost. If I'm working that out correctly. So the keyboard can slot in just like that. Sorry, the tablet to the keyboard. And we go, yeah, 1.407. That's around about the weight of an Ultrabook, so it's not really too bad. Now if you have a look here, that the way the tablet is set up, that it will latch in like that, and you can simply just dock it by putting it up like that. And it's a nice keyboard, very nice to type on. As I mentioned, that I've used this keyboard before with the i7, and it is really quite good. Not the kind of quality you'd expect from China. It's a very well-made keyboard there. So in terms of size here, the keyboard is a little bit larger here than the Chewy. This is the Chewy VI10 keyboard, which is, this keyboard's only about 23 US. So it's a cheaper keyboard, but it's still not too bad. It does have a larger touchpad here. And you can see there that they are similar kind of size there. But the quality of this one here to type on is really quite good. Very nice feedback on it, and a good size here. The only thing is, yeah, that trackpad is a little tiny, but small. I wish it was a little larger, but obviously they didn't have that much space here to work with because it is a widescreen tablet and a 16:9 ratio, not the 16:10, which would give them a little bit more room there. And here is the Surface 3 type cover, which offers quite a good typing experience as well, but personally I like the keys here to have a little bit of a separation in them. I find just myself that when I'm typing, I get more typos when I use a keyboard with these square keys that aren't individual island style keys here. And this one has the island style keys, so not too bad there. And the trackpad on the Surface is actually around about the same size, but you do get actual hardware buttons, which the Cube keyboard there lacks. So I'm just going to power it on here for the first time. Hopefully there's some battery in here. Okay, that sounds like it's going to work there. Hopefully you heard that on the video, the audio there, that it did actually vibrate. So there's obviously haptic feedback. There's a small little vibrating motor in there. Gives you that feedback there. The Remix had something similar there. Okay, so it's come up with the Remix boot image there. And here we are in the Remix operating system, which you can see kind of looks like a combination between Android and Windows here, because you have the taskbar down here at the bottom, which is a little bit different. Now I'm just going to have a look and see how that mouse works. Seems to work quite well there, so I can just go ahead and launch the file manager there and bring that up, and the mouse seems to work quite well. The good thing about this operating system, even though it is Android on top of this, you can actually run various different applications at the same time. So if I go here for the calculator, you can have that just on the top there, and also run the file manager there, bring it up, and you can do some calculations or something that you wanted to do there. So it's quite good for multitasking, switching between the applications is really quite well done there, the way they've done that with a Remix operating system. Now we'll go into the settings here and have a look at, just a quick look. Available storage we have is 2.439 gigabytes. So almost 25 gigabytes there. That's not too bad, considering it's only a 32 gigabyte eMMC. And let's have a look at About Tablet. So you can see it's actually based on Android 4.4.4. I'll just bring this up to the camera so you can see that. So here we have Android 4.4.4, Remix OS version number 1. There is the system updater, which I will run. Now if you're interested in seeing benchmarks, gaming performance, and more on this tablet, then I'll have some videos very shortly up and coming where I will test out as much as I can Antutu, 3D Mark, Geekbench 3, just to get an idea of the performance of the tablet. And the other thing I do like is this battery life application that Remix have been using. It gives you an idea of the kind of battery life you are going to get out of the tablet, with a rough estimate there of 9 hours at the moment, that's quite good. Now the battery size is 8,400 milliamp hours, so it's not too bad for a size screen here and the hardware that's within the tablet. So a closer look at the screen here, you can see that it does look quite vibrant. This is the maximum brightness here at the moment, and the auto rotation does work there. Even though it is not a laminated screen, it almost looks like it is. The gap between the actual touch digitizer here on the front, obviously the same touch digitizer as the Cube i7, because it has that Windows logo there. The gap is very minimal there, and it does look good. It almost gives the impression that it is laminated, but it's not. But I never expected a laminated screen in a tablet of this price range. $200 tablet is not going to have a laminated screen normally. Alright, so that is a quick look there at the Cube i7 Remix. If you're interested in seeing a lot more on this tablet, then do check out my up-and-coming videos that I will have shortly. Do some gaming tests, everything that I mentioned before, and really get into the tablet a little bit more detail there. There will be a full review up on techtablets.com, so do have a look for that when it's out. Probably in about a week's time or so. Just need a bit of time to really test the tablet, go through everything, and compile all the benchmark scores and everything. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll hopefully catch you in my next one with the Cube i7 Remix. Bye for now.